Hi, this is Ghostlady, aka Audra, aka Mama Chips. Everybody calls me different names. I am going to make a meatloaf. Right now I am chopping the onions. Onions are the worst to chop, so I'm just kind of chopping them up. It's kind of messy. I know when I was little, my parents, my sisters, nobody would let me chop up with the vegetables. So being left-handed, they would think that me holding the knife was awkward. So they would always take the knife out of my hands. And so I always, when I learned to cook after I got out of school and was on my own. So I kind of just do whatever. Now my meatloaf, I decided to show you how I cook it because it's always different. It's never the same, and I never go by a recipe. And I decided to show it to you just in case that you guys don't do it the same way I do it, so it'd be a little bit different, and maybe that you might try it this way. You never know what my meatloaf does turn out like, but I do like to make sure I got onions in it and some of the basic ingredients in there, and then we go from there. But done here cutting the onions up. Quite a bit of onions in there. It's just going to be me. I usually make a huge meatloaf, and then I'll eat on it for a little while, and then what I'll do is I'll just slice it in pieces, and I'll put it in the freezer, and then I'll freeze it, and then when I want a piece of it, then I'll just take it out of the freezer, microwave it, and it's a good time for dinner. So let me get out the meat. Had the meat out, had it thawing out, so hopefully it is good and not frozen. Got a couple of eggs and some tomato paste. I'm gonna use, this is a generic barbecue sauce, so we're gonna use that. Usually I like to get like the Jack Daniel's barbecue sauce. That's usually pretty good. But I have the generic barbecue sauce in there, so we're gonna do that. Let me get my, sorry, kind of out of screen. I just have this little laptop here, so I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I put it off. I have tendonitis in my right hand, so it's going to make it a little bit harder to mix up the meatloaf, but it's getting a little bit better. But as Barbara says, you just plow through the pain, and that's what I'm going to do today. It doesn't really matter. We'll just get it done. Get her done. Okay. Let's see if we can get this all out. I always hate messing with hamburger and all of that stuff. It's just like, ugh. This is like 80-20 hamburger, and I got it on sale, so, and I didn't have time to do anything with it, so I froze it. So it's probably going to be a little tough. I don't have much of a area to cook, so I just kind of want to make sure I just kind of clean up my area. I don't like leaving my area a mess, and then I don't really have a spot to cook anything, so that's why I kind of just make sure I clean up the spot when I'm cooking. Kind of still a little frozen on the inside, in the very middle. That's fine. All right, so then wash my hands. Now I was thinking that everybody that had a complaint about this video, I do have a complaint department, and I will go ahead and show you that. So if you want to go ahead and just file a complaint, just go ahead and press that button and you can start that complaint. I have a great complaint department. It's really, they are really snappy at the job. So I'll go ahead and put you back over here so we can see what's going on, and we'll kind of continue what's going on here. I washed my counters before. I always wash it before I do anything, so everything's nice and good. Now, I think I've got some garlic. I don't know how my garlic is. We'll see what the garlic looks like. I kind of like to put fresh garlic cloves in, if they're any good. Sometimes I don't always have fresh garlic. And I've had this in here for a while. I don't know exactly how good it is. I don't think that's. So we're just going to go ahead and just put garlic powder. Garlic powder does the trick. Put a little bit of that in there. Let's put a little bit of salt. I don't really put a lot of, I'm surprised I even put salt in there because I usually don't put a lot of spices in there. Especially salt. I don't really use salt that much. I'm going to put just a little bit of tomato paste, not a whole lot, because I'm going to stick a couple of eggs in there. Oh, I got 2 eggs. That's good. That's what I want. 2 eggs. That's pretty good. And I am going to stick some barbecue sauce. That's pretty runny. That's all right. That'll work. Let's see what that goes. I'm going to mix that up just a little bit before I start putting the crackers or stuff in that mixture. Kind of mix it up to see what kind of consistency that is before I start putting the other part in. It's all ooey gooey. Ugh. This is where I don't like doing, but it's not too bad. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. Let me wash my hands here. Now, does everybody put their ingredients in like that? Or does other people do it different? I was looking at this. I had bought this yesterday or the day before. It was really cheap. And I don't know if I'm going to do this or not, but they were like, almost like croissants. Like crispy, like breadcrumbs. I don't know if I want to put those in there, or if I just want to put crackers in there instead. But these are kind of, I don't know. These will probably be about the same consistency. And like I said, they were really cheap. So let's go ahead and put this in here. Since I bought it, might as well just kind of put this in here instead. Kind of like crackers. Or if you guys put breadcrumbs in, or if you put oatmeal. Sometimes I put oatmeal in if I have it. Sometimes I put the Toll House, not the Toll House, those crackers or club crackers, or I just put saltine crackers in. Just depends on what type of crackers I have. I do have some Ritz crackers today. I was going to put that in there. But I have this, and I thought, well, it kind of looks like it would work. So we'll just put this in. That's where I say, whatever I have is what I'm going to put in there. So we'll see if this turns out. I'm not going to take it and spend a whole lot of time just like crumbling these up really good. I'm just kind of just put them all over the place, and then I'll have to sweep the floor because the floor is a mess. When I cook, everything gets a mess. I'm real messy. It doesn't really matter. I get it all over me, get it all over the countertop, the floor, everywhere. So it doesn't really matter. Just sweep everything up. I got one of those automatic sweeper things. I can just hit my button on my phone and it'll sweep up everything for me too. It's about time for me to do my whole house, so I can do that too. Okay, let's see. I've got some crumbs in there. Let's see if that is going to work. Mix up some of those. See how many more we need in there. I think that's going to do good. Let's put a little bit more in there. How's everybody's day today? I didn't get to go live. They told me I didn't have enough requirements or something to go live. So I was going to go live and show it to you. I don't think I have enough subscribers. I don't have enough airtime. So it's like, well, that's all right. That way, if I made some kind of big mistake, I didn't have to, you guys didn't have to see it. But oh well, if I did make a big mistake, it would be something we could really laugh at. I'm all about laughing anyways. I kind of think it's funny when someone does some really big mistake of some sort. I had this cousin, me and this cousin, we used to make these videos a long time ago when I was probably about 16 or 17. We would make, she was a horrible cooker, and she thought everything went on high, and after, if the smoke detector went off, then that's when the food was done. That's always what we always said. So we used to make these videos, and she would make a grilled cheese, and she put it on high, you know, and the smoke detector went off. And she goes, "Oh, so lunch is done," you know. And we were doing all these stupid things. It was on VHS, and then the other day I came across it, and my son has just purchased the VHS recorder thing from Goodwill, and I was over at his house and I had it, and I sat there and watched it, and I laughed so hard. It was so funny. We were so young at that time, and it was just so funny to sit there and look at it. I think that looks like about a good consistency. It's staying together, and I pretty much like that consistency. So I think we're pretty good with that. I'm going to wash my hands, and then I'm going to get a pan to put in that. So like I said, I have the tarot channel, and I am going to teach the tarot cards, but I'm also going to do some other stuff, because I think, you know, just teaching the tarot cards is neat, but I like to do other things too. Years ago, I used to ghost hunt, and I could tell you a lot of different stories about ghost hunting, you know, just little different things. I like to get into just going out, maybe in the graveyard and just kind of walking around, kind of like what Shadowrunner was doing. She was going to do a little bit of that. I'm not actually a medium, but I can feel things that are around me, and sometimes I can see them, but most of the time I just feel the energy. And like Barbara says, there's energy is everywhere. You just have to tune into the energy. And that's what I feel a lot. Okay, does anybody use these? I love this pan here, especially for my meatloaf. The Pampered Chef pan. I love this for my meatloaf. I'm going to put this big old clump thing in there, plop it in there, and smash it around. This just seems to make a much better meatloaf. And if it's greased, if the meatloaf is greasy, it kind of, the grease goes into the corners, and I can just grab that turkey baster, and I just start doing the corners, and just start, you know, can take that grease out of the corners. And I'll tell you why it gets a little greasy. And I'll show you why here in a minute. Okay, so most of that tomato paste I put on top. I know a lot of people may put the ketchup, and ketchup is good. I use the ketchup a lot of times afterwards when I'm eating, but I don't know it. I think the tomato paste just gives it a little bit more flavor when you eat it on top. Just gives it a little bit more flavor. Let's see if I can get it, kind of rub it in. Just kind of rub it in over the top. And I usually start the oven. Sorry, it kind of bake. I figure out. I put it about 375, somewhere around there, and I let it cook as, I don't know, sometimes 45 minutes. It just depends on how it looks. You usually know when it's done. I don't like overcooking it. Overcooking hamburger makes it really tough. I don't like hamburger raw, but overcooking makes it really tough. So you just kind of a medium in there. I like my food done, but I don't like it overdone. So I'd rather take it out when it's a little bit iffy rather than to see it when it's actually burnt. Okay, so we got that part done. Now, we're going to stick a little bit of this is probably where everybody's like, what? Ew. I usually don't, I didn't do this, but when I grown up and got married, my mother-in-law, when she made her meatloaf, she put bacon on top of it. So whenever I made my meatloaf, it was a tradition that I had to put whatever I did with my meatloaf. My ex did not care, but I had to have bacon on top of it. So I always just kind of stuck with the bacon on top. And it does add a little flavor. And like I said, it does add the little grease to it. So I usually get, this is bacon is kind of, this is kind of a little, this is like lightly cut bacon. So most of the time I usually get like the really thick applewood bacon, and that usually looks really good and tastes really good on here. But we're just going to use the thin bacon, put it on top. You can cut it to make it fit the size that you want. I'm just kind of like folding it over to kind of fit it. You don't necessarily have to cover it all either. You can just kind of cover it. I guess I can fold it over like this. I'm just trying to use up quite a bit of the bacon so that way I don't have to fry it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like frying bacon. I don't like it popping and everything. And I know you can put it in a pan in the oven, but usually I just don't like, I don't like cooking, so I don't like even frying the bacon or doing anything like that. So I probably will do that because I do have a lot of the bacon left, so I probably will have to take it, and I'll probably end up try putting it in a pan. It just makes it a little bit harder for cleanup too. Okay, so then that is how I make my meatloaf. And like I said, let me wash my hands here. Hands are greasy. If anybody's looking at it and saying, ew, that does look gross, I do have this complaint department, remember? And I'll switch you over to that complaint department. They are more than happy to answer your complaints. They do it really good. Just in a snap, they will do that for you, okay? So I will kind of check out, this little area here. I do have like a little patio. We have a little pond. I don't know if you can see the ducks out there. There's a couple of ducks out there. You probably can't see them. I have a little patio. It has a pond and everything like that. I was thinking to go along with the meatloaf, I do have some mashed potatoes. And I was going to go ahead and make some mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes are going to be the same. You put them in a pot, and I'm not going to peel my potatoes. Let me go the other way here. Let me turn you around so you can see me. I don't know if you can see me now. Probably not. I just peel my potatoes and put them in a pot and boil them. And that's what I'll do. I might just make a short clip after I get done with the meatloaf and show you what it looks like. But that's it. If you like my video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I do need a lot of subscribers on my video to make it a live, I think. So if you can do that for me, I would appreciate it. This is Audra or Ghostlady out. Thanks.